Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm David Kerr from Lansing in Michigan, and these are your latest news headlines from around the world. A group of European bishops is expressing concern regarding the plight of Christians in the city of Jerusalem. The group of 6 bishops were recently in the Israeli capital for 5 days. They were there as guests of the organisation Holy Land Coordination, which was founded by the bishops of England and Wales to promote awareness, action and prayer. The group of bishops raised their concerns following an Israeli police attack upon mourners at a funeral procession on May the 13th for a prominent Arab Catholic journalist. Al Jazeera reporter Shireen Abu Akleh was shot and killed earlier this month while covering a raid by the Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, on the Jenin refugee camp in the West Bank. Both the Palestinian Authority and various media outlets claim that she was deliberately killed by Israeli forces. An urgent request for aid from the Catholic Church in Ethiopia has seen truckloads of essential supplies arrive in the war-torn region of Tigray in the north of the country. For the past 2 years, the Ethiopian army has been engaged in a counter-offensive against the separatist Tigrayan People's Liberation Front. That civil war has displaced thousands and pushed millions to the brink of starvation. Now, the prayerful plea of the bishops of the Ethiopian Catholic Church for humanitarian aid has been met with a generous response from the global community. According to the United Nations, some 570 trucks carrying essential supplies have now reached Tigray since April. That means that by May the 16th, over 17,000 tonnes of food has now been supplied. However, the UN say that there is a need for another 75,000 tonnes of food. The Ethiopian Catholic Church is an Eastern Rite Church in full communion with Rome. To the United States, where the Archbishop of Oklahoma City has issued a note of prayerful gratitude to the state's lawmakers after they passed what is considered the most pro-life law of any state in the US. The new law prohibits the killing of human life in the womb from the moment of conception, with few exceptions. Archbishop Paul Coakley of Oklahoma City says that such pro-life legislation helps in building a culture of life where the inherent dignity of each person is recognised. Archbishop Coakley also encouraged all people of goodwill to pray for women facing crisis pregnancies and for their families. Meanwhile, pro-life campaigners in Michigan are warning that a proposed amendment to the state constitution that seeks to enshrine abortion as a fundamental right would adversely affect almost everything related to pregnancy. That includes parental consent requirement for minors, bans on taxpayer-funded abortions, a state ban on human cloning, as well as the right to life for the unborn. The warning comes from the Michigan Catholic Conference, which represents all 7 dioceses in the state. On Tuesday, they announced that they were joining a pro-life coalition to oppose the proposed far-reaching addition to the Michigan Constitution, known as the Reproductive Freedom for All Amendment. Backers of that amendment need to collect over 425,000 valid signatures from registered voters by July the 1st in order to have their proposal put on the ballot in front of the electorate in November's elections. The pro-abortion coalition is backed by Planned Parenthood, the American Civil Liberties Union, as well as State Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Elsewhere, the Diocese of Charlotte in North Carolina is urging their clergy and lay faithful to pray and fast for the legal protection of all human lives on Wednesday, June the 1st. The Diocesan Office of Family Life is also inviting clergy to offer Holy Mass for that intention, while also suggesting that all the faithful dedicate a holy hour of Eucharistic adoration. One further suggestion is that people show their support for the pro-life cause by wearing a white rose or an image of a white rose on their clothes. The day of prayer and fasting comes as the United States awaits a decision by the country's Supreme Court regarding the future of the 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling that legalised abortion across the US. Pope Francis will lead a Rosary rally this Tuesday. That's the last day of May, a month particularly dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary. According to the Vatican, the Holy Father will seek Our Lady's intercession for peace in Ukraine and other areas of conflict across the globe. The Pope will lead the Rosary in the Basilica of St Mary Major in Rome in front of the historic statue of Our Lady Ave Regina Pacis, or Hail Queen of Peace. Present will be a Ukrainian family, relatives of war victims, and several military chaplains. At the same time, the Holy Rosary will be prayed at various locations around the world that are particularly dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary. That includes the Sanctuary of Lourdes in France, Knock Shrine in Ireland, Jasna Gora in Poland, and the Cathedral of Sayyidit al-Najat in Iraq. The various locations will be linked by satellite, with the global Rosary rally being broadcast live around the world. Ave Maria. Finally, the 102nd annual Katholiten Tag, or Catholic Convention, is underway in the German city of Stuttgart. The 5-day celebration of the Catholic faith marks a unique tradition in Germany and beyond, dating back more than 170 years. The whole programme involves some 1,500 events, panel discussions, workshops and cultural activities prepared and conducted by volunteers. Organisers hope to see over 20,000 participants take part during the 5-day event, which runs until Sunday. Well, that's your latest news headlines for now. Do join us for more tomorrow. You can also join us at swnews.org for news updates. Shalom.